All right, guys, we are about to go into the Maybach. We have a fantastic podcast for you, right?
Yes, exactly. It's going to be fun.
Stay tuned. Another day, another Maybach. Da Vinci, how you doing?
All right. In the pipe, 5x5, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks again for letting me borrow the Maybach for another incredible chat. So today we're going to talk about how much $250 in Bitcoin could do for you.
Yes, exactly. That subject came up from a tweet that you put out just recently, didn't it?
Exactly. It was a thread because I was thinking, okay, wait, before we think about 0.1, 0.02 and all those random numbers, how many Bitcoin are there and how many people are there? So we know there is about 8 billion people, more or less, and there is less than 21 million because some have lost and some have not mined yet. So if you do the math, you can figure it out. Wait, so that means that if we could magically distribute each and every single Satoshis, everyone is going to get about $250 worth of Bitcoin.
Exactly. And as you know, right, money is not distributed evenly. So effectively, that $250 spent today will provide a significant amount of wealth in the future, especially when in the future we're only using Bitcoin as money. And if you do, I know you might feel, oh, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Listen, I know that feeling. I know that feeling because people told me that it's not going to go to past the price of gold. Back when it was $1, it was not going to go anywhere. I understand where you're coming from. However, the only way for you to truly understand that this will be the technology that replaces the money that we are using today is you have to educate yourself. You have to understand why. I saw this immediately when it was just $1. When I first read it, when I was going through the white paper, going through the source code, I was like, oh damn, this is going to replace all money. And it was nowhere even close to mainstream. Nowhere. Nobody even knew about it. Only a few, cyberpunks knew about it. That's it. And it was back then it was just used for, what's it called, buying socks or drugs.
So guys, here's the catch. Take 2 seconds, use the link in the description, b4b.davincigft15.com, sign up for a free course, right? That's imperative because you have to learn why you're buying it and the fundamentals behind the Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you'll be tempted by the FOMO and the FUD, and you will sell when it doubles. And no. You need to understand how to manage your emotions. You need to understand why you're buying this thing in the first place. The best way to understand is just to join our course.
Exactly. And then most people, when they invest in something, they think about, oh, I bought it low, it doubled, and then it came back down, and I should have sold it, and then it comes back up, and I'm going to sell it now, right? That's generally what happens. But and I understand that feeling, that because I've been there, right? I bought other assets that went up, back down, and then went back up, and I said, okay, forget it, and then it continues higher, of course, but this is a special type of asset. This asset class, its goal is to be the money. And it's getting there slowly. Once that's realized by the majority, the people who have the most money, it's going to be a free-for-all. And you don't want to be the last one in. You don't, right?
And if you think you are late, hold on that thought because I have some statistics for you. Okay, I'm going to check my phone because there's a lot of data and I won't remember all of it. But check this out. Okay, cities. In New York, 19% of the population has crypto, not Bitcoin, crypto, which means a portion of those might not even have Bitcoin, right? Because it's crypto. In Los Angeles, 15 to 18%. In Tokyo, 4%. In Rome, 1 to 2%. In Shanghai, 2 to 3%. In Sydney, 6 to 7%. Again, crypto, right? Not Bitcoin. In Delhi, interesting, 20%. In Sao Paulo, 17%. So these are the people you are running against, I suppose, right? And if you think about it, there is 8.1 billion people. If the average person could manage to put their hands into Satoshis. That means they'll have 0.00206, which equals about $250.
$250.
But here's the catch. If you have 0.01, you have 5x.
I know. It is the asymmetrical bet of all of human history. Never have you ever had an option to buy something and hold on to it for the rest of your life, except maybe, I don't know, maybe, I guess, property, but that's New York property or something like that. But then, you don't know if New York's going to still be here in the future. Most likely it will. But this asset, the way it was designed, how it works, how it's going to, be the money, why it's going to be the money, because it's a mathematical proof. Sort of like, that the sun's always going to shine because of the way fusion works, or sort of like the way, that gravity will always be here on this planet because that's the laws of physics. You know that it's never going to change. And that is what you need to learn. Actually, I know this, but you need to learn that this is never going to change. This is like an absolute. That's why I was so convinced it's going to be the money, because it's like finding a new element. And this element is not only special in the sense that you can use it only for money, because you can't use it for electricity or building anything, but you can use it to transfer wealth anywhere instantly in the world, and even to the moon or Mars when we get there.
How about that compared to New York?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And by the way, one of the things we are focusing on in the school specifically, again, linked in the description, will be to make you switch your mindset, because most people, they buy Bitcoin to have more fiat. But what we are teaching you is to keep the Bitcoin and exit the fiat, because fiat is a scam, right? Mm-hmm. So the best way for you to understand is go through a process of learning why you're acquiring this asset in the first place, why you want to save on this asset in the first place, and all those rules that you need to study.
First one is Bitcoin for beginners. The next one will be how to profit and earn interest on your Bitcoins and so forth, or Satoshis. Actually, it's going to be on Satoshis. And I've even discovered a way for us to earn interest on Satoshis, but that will only be in the next course at 6 months from now, and that will be separate pricing for that course, unless you subscribe to the course today, right? By the time this airs, right, the course will probably not be available, but later on, like after my birthday, you will be able to pay for the course, and if you pay for that course, you'll get any new courses that we create for free as well if you stay subscribed.
Exactly. And you know what they say? Buy low, sell high. No. Buy low, borrow high, sell never. Mm-hmm. That's the new mantra.
Exactly.
We'll teach you how to do it. So you have to stay subscribed, learn, go through tests. We will ask you, we will test you, because that's part of the process, right? Because we've been through some lessons ourselves that we don't want to go through.
Yes, definitely. And we've seen other people get burned and are lost like their life savings, and we don't want that to happen to you. So by taking this course, you'll learn things that will prevent you from losing your Bitcoin and give you the confidence to hold Bitcoin for the longer term.
Yay, I'm sorry I don't have any money. No problem. Sign up. There is free classes.
Exactly.
There you have it.
Yes, and because the Bitcoins are limited in supply and fixed in supply, it means that you have a fair and honest system. Our current system is not fair and honest. It transfers wealth from the poor and the middle class to the rich through inflation, because they get to print money for free and you go and work for it. This causes the prices to go higher and you to become poorer over time. With Bitcoin, you become richer over time, and you'll learn how to become richer over time through our course, b4b.davincej15.com or dj15.com. That's b4b.dj15.com. you can actually get to the school there and learn these crucial lessons that will help you increase your wealth and not be a victim of our current financial system.
And the best part is, since we are building it together, you'll be able to contribute into feedback and say, hey, I would love to learn about so and so. Then we will be able to teach or create classes on those topics. There's going to be live events. You'll be able to join us. You'll be able to ask us questions. There's going to be a closed events, of course, for students, right? You'll be able to comment. You'll be able to join our community. You'll be able to participate and help us building this community.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to it because there's so many things that Bitcoin can do. And I think we should save this for the next video. Subscribe for this channel, Mr. M's podcast, because we're going to talk about in another video how Bitcoin will change our whole future, that makes people basically better, because the issue is that there's a lot of crime going on, a lot of things happening at the top, and they can't be stopped because they can print money. So in the next video, you're going to learn that Bitcoin is like electricity. What do I mean by that? Well, most people only use electricity back in the days for lighting in their house, and that's it. That's all they saw what it was useful for. Today we see Bitcoin, and all you can see is the storage of wealth. Yeah. Or maybe transfer wealth to somebody else. Yeah. But it can do way more than that. And we're going to talk about what the different features Bitcoin will provide in the future once it becomes a unit of account. What do I mean by unit of account? It means when everybody is using it to transfer wealth and write contracts and count their wealth in Bitcoin. That's going to be a totally different world of all kinds of products that you could never have imagined.
So you have an opportunity to front run everybody, right? Because no one is seeing where this is going to go.
I do see a big future for Bitcoin and crypto in general too, but Bitcoin will play the biggest role in our future in ways that you could never imagine possible. And I hope that you take the time to learn why, and not only that, learn also how to hold it, because it's a different way of management of your finances than what you're used to. Yes, with major technical changes, you have to learn new things, new skills, just like we do with the internet. I mean, before the internet, people didn't know how to use a computer, right? And they had to have the skill of using a computer, and they made mistakes, right? People lost money on the internet, right? People cheated them and so forth, and they had to learn that. Same thing with Bitcoin. You're going to have to completely learn a new set of skills.
One of the most interesting part is whenever you will realize that you want to keep it, you will then use it carefully because you know that it's scarce. But here's the catch. I think many companies, and I think this is going to be the next challenges, they will try to convince you to send them their Bitcoin. We're going to give you 5% interest, 10% interest, borrow against here, borrow against there. So you have to be extremely careful on where you send your Bitcoin. Hence why in the course we're going to talk about only safe places, things we tried, things we tested, because I think the biggest challenge will be for you not to be tempted to send your Bitcoin to a company which is going to do God knows what with, exactly like banks.
Coinbase.
Coinbase. Right, so I think that would be the next challenge. Actually.
Exactly.
If you want to save it, you want to protect it, again, how to store it, where to store it, all those things are going to be covered and discussed in the course.
Exactly. Well, I look forward to the future, man. It's going to be a bright one when Bitcoin is the money and the unit of account and everyone is using it. It'll be a great day.
Stay tuned. Remember, there's going to be a live event on Monday, so you're going to make sure to stay tuned because there's going to be the official launch, right, on Monday.
Exactly.
So it's going to be at 5 p.m. Dubai time, GST. You want to tune in because there's going to be a surprise. I'm not going to say anything else.
Exactly. Huge surprise.
Huge.
Huge.
Thank you, Da Vinci. Always a pleasure.
Cheers.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.